Alright, so the last project I did, making an alphabet doll in a month, you should go check it out if you haven't seen it. It was a little stressful, I think understandably so. So I'm gonna do something a little bit more relaxed this time around, give me a little more time to actually put full effort without having to rush into my next project. So I'm gonna do a figure repaint for this little strawberry fairy Miku, say that 5 times fast, who sits on my desk. She is, like, her mold is really cute, but the paint job is atrocious. I got her in a gachapon machine, and you can tell. So I'm gonna try and make her look a little bit cuter. I decided to try and fix this Miku up because she just looked so sad. There was no life in her eyes, and she also didn't really match the sort of like color scheme of the rest of my little guys on my desk. Like, she just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb a little bit. So I decided to give her a little bit of a facelift to help her match everything a bit better. Started off by removing her factory paint like I normally would. I removed her like eyes and mouth, and then removed her hat and started erasing her hair as well. I was very pleased to see that her hair was that sort of translucent pink the whole way through. Gave me a lot more freedom with the face up than if it was just like a solid color and only the pigtails or only certain parts of the hair were that translucent pink. So I was very happy about that. Once I removed all the paint, I took her outside to spray her down with MSC, and ended up making a contraption to be able to spray the body down. I kind of cracked a stick and then just kind of... Yeah. So yeah, she was skewered and outside while I was waiting for her to dry. While I was removing the paint off of her dress, I was intrigued to find out that she was painted blue and then they painted white over the blue. Not really important to the process, but just something I thought was cool. And let me tell you, trying to erase the paint around all of these little bits and bobs and like nooks and crannies was so hard. I did manage to rip her wings off of her back, so brutal but efficient, and I could finally get rid of the paint under the wings. I tried removing the arms, decided that maybe that would be taking it a little too far. I don't know if I could come back from that. So I left her arms as they are and tried to work around them as best as I could. I also glued the wings onto just like the back of a beat up paintbrush, and that worked fine, just a little hot glue on the back. For the wings, there wasn't really much to them. After blushing them, I just painted some swirlies on them with my colored pencil, and I matched that on both the front and back sides so that it would you could see it really clearly on no matter how you were looking at the doll. And I finished them up with painting them down with some gloss varnish, and then I set the wings aside and moved on to better and greener pastures. Starting with the outfit, I did the white parts first. That way I didn't really have to worry too much about messing up because I could just, make it as messy as I wanted and then paint it in with the dress color later, so it didn't really matter. But when I tell you that this white paint took so many layers to actually like appear opaque, it was insane. I think I ended up doing like 10 layers. I don't even think I recorded all of it because it got to a point where I'm like, I'm not gonna do like a half hour of painting white onto this outfit. In the original, I know the shirts, gloves, and like boots were all different colors. I just thought that looked really messy, so I decided to make them all one color to help the cohesion of the doll a little bit. Just a personal preference thing, and there's a lot of white on my desk, so I figured white would match match very nicely with everything. Once I finally got the white to show up as bright as I'd want it to, I painted the dress, and I went with a dark purple because, once again, it matched the color palette of my desk pretty well. I knew I wanted a darker color for her, even though I have a lot of lighter lavenders and stuff on my desk, just because I thought it would balance out some of the lighter colors that I'm using other places, you know, help contrast and, once again, keep it all sort of cohesive in a weird way. If you get it, you get it, you know? If you get it, you get it. And this dark purple was a dream to paint, really. I only had to do one layer because it was just that opaque. In the original design, her dress was kind of like a sleeveless dress with like a poofy shirt underneath. I thought it would be cuter if she had like little overalls on, so I painted on some sleeves on there to make it look like overalls, and I think it's a lot cuter. She also had these like molded on like little undies on her skirt, and originally they were white, which you might have seen while I was like erasing the factory paint. I decided to do them the same color that I did the dress, just so that they looked less like underwear and more like shorts that she's like wearing with a little oversized shirt. I don't know, I think that's cuter and less weird. I don't know, I'm not comfortable with this doll having molded on undies. This is a personal thing, I guess. With the original design, I felt like the strawberry theme was really only present with the hat and like visible really nowhere else in the design. So I decided to add some strawberries onto her dress just to kind of like, I don't know, push that a little bit more. I started by mapping out where I wanted all the strawberries to go with white watercolor pencil, just because one will help the pink show up brighter on this dark purple, and then two, with watercolor pencil, it's really easy for me to just sort of like take a paintbrush and some water and really shape things in if I don't really like what I put down, because you can't really erase things very easily when you're doing like custom dolls or figures, so that's why watercolor pencils are goated. That's why watercolor pencils are goated with the sauce. Once I got all the white in the spot that I like, I go over it with a pink color, and then I paint on all the seeds, and then finally I paint on the green bits, and the little strawberries on the dress are done. Last but not least, I get to do the face up, and yeah, I always save this for last because I really enjoy doing it. And if I don't save it for last, I'll do it first, and then I won't finish the rest of it. So, you know, it's like a reward for suffering. I used the same blush that I used on her wings for her face, and I really wanted to give her like a really almost like childlike, bright, innocent look kind of thing. So I used a lot of blush. Maybe more than I should, but I think it's cute, so a lot of blush. After blushing, I go ahead and start color blocking where I want the details of her hair to be. Personally, I am a green-haired Miku enthusiast, so these will not be the final colors, but I'm using colored pencil because, as previously mentioned, colored pencil is just way easier to work with than starting with paint. So I'm color blocking the general idea with sort of similar colored pencils, but I'll be going in with different colors later. I figured out the layout of where I wanted her facial details to go with a light brown first, giving me a little bit more control over where everything goes and giving me time to fix things where I see mistakes. And then once I liked where everything was, I'm going to be adding some like little details and charms and things onto her face, so I went ahead and marked those spots with white, just so that it would show up brighter, because I'm going to be using some very light colors there, so it would just make things nicer. And then I'm finally going in with the actual colors for the hair. As I said earlier, I'm a green-haired Miku enthusiast. One of the first Miku songs that I listened to was Alice of Human Sacrifice, and that, you know, back when she had green hair, you know. Plus, I think the green matches with the other little guys on my desk better, with my Ghost Bear house guys. You know, I think there's a lot of purples, pinks, greens, blues in that color palette, so that's sort of the color palette that I'm going for this Miku. They have very muted colors. I used slightly brighter colors, but in that same sort of color family, so I think it'll turn out fine. Back to the hair. I opted for a more greener than a sort of teal, and once again I'm going in with that sort of darker color, that lighter, more tealy color, and then a dark pink, which barely shows up on camera, but I promise it's there. I used that same pink to color in her hat. I ended up doing multiple layers, and I also used the dark green that I used with her hair to color in the little leaf on her strawberry hat. That's the secret for color palettes, is just use the same color for everything, and your mind will pretend that it's different colors. I swear, it works every time. I used the same pink that I used for the hair and the hat to paint a little strawberry on her cheek. This is also the same pink that I used for the skirt. Like I said, using the same colors in different places, easiest way to make a color palette look cohesive. I also give her a little band-aid on her nose and then a sort of star on the other cheek with a light yellow, and I use that same yellow to color in the seeds on the strawberry in her hat. Just bringing in some more detail that I felt like the original paint job kind of missed. Painting her eyes, I use, again, the same color I used for her hair, use that sort of lighter blue as a base, and then the darker blue to sort of, allude to the iris, and then I came in with a slightly lighter color to give her a little bit of a shine down at the bottom, and then I put some shines in her eyes just so that, like I said, one of the main things that I didn't like about the original paint job was that she just looked so dead to the world, just so lifeless. No light in her eyes. So hopefully we got a little bit of life and light in her eyes with that finishing touch. And then I take my high gloss varnish and I paint in her eyes, and I also paint in the stars on her cheeks, just to give her a little more sparkle. And with that, she's done. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching. If you liked this type of content, let me know. If you want to see more figure paints, or if you're like, hey, stay in your lane, stick to dolls, you could let me know that too. Maybe be nicer about it. Maybe don't. I'm not your mother.